No telling when we gon' go. Can't see much traveling through the weed smoke. Just glad to be back on the street low. Vans on the feet when I go visit my PO. Keep it on the D-low that I'm running tree though. Supposed to be drug free. That weed ain't evil. Evil's what they make me out to be though. Let me reload.
What's cracking, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, Comments from the Peanut Gallery, Jordan Kurtz. I'm here. We're switching the pace up a little bit today. Normally, we give you nothing but the biggest and the brightest of the mixed martial arts world, but in keeping true Colorado style, we're keeping focus on a local Colorado artist and athlete. What's up, my man? This is One Piece.
What up? What up?
So, real quick, my man, why don't you let people know where they can follow you?
You can follow me at One Piece Nugget. OnePeaceNugget. One Piece Nugget on everything. Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. And then One Piece on Facebook. And then One Piece on all streaming platforms.
Beautiful. Yeah, and you can find all of your catalog that's released on everything like Apple Music and all that, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
I think there's some other stuff. There might be some like random old stuff on SoundCloud too. If you go to the One Piece SoundCloud, but I don't even know it's on there.
It's all over the place, man. Just got that content everywhere.
Right.
And you're a part of Lion League Music, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So for everybody who's been a long time follower and listener of the Comments from the Peanut Gallery, we'll take you all the way back to 2018 when we had OP's brother Joey Swab McClellan on the show. That was it's crazy to look back on that, but there's been from each of us, so much growth. Like me and your brother sat there in my basement just for hours, just talking about like what our visions were, like where we wanted to be in the next couple of years. And he's doing it big, making films and,
Right.
just growing and blossoming. He talked nothing but, spoke nothing but highly of you and your growth as an artist and just continuing to, to find yourself and bloom and develop. So I'm glad that we can bring everything full circle and have you on the show, my man.
For sure. No doubt. Appreciate it.
I got to ask you, what is the inspiration behind your moniker, behind your name?
So my first rap name I made up when I was like 13. I went by The Opticist, which was the optimistic lyricist. Over time, that just became the OP. And then I ended up getting locked up and I got out. And my brother was talking about maybe doing like a little rebrand, like the OP. It was kind of hard to like do like the spell it out like O.P. It was just kind of like, kind of a bitch to deal with. So then I got out and we were like, kind of trying to think of like some words that go with like OP, and then my brother hit me up one day and he's like, yo, One Piece. And he's like, you went to prison, came out in one piece. I was like, damn. And we were like, that's pretty tough. And then we just been One Piece ever since.
That's actually a pretty dope story. I didn't know it. That's no kayfabe, people, nothing like that. I really didn't know the story behind how the name came about.
Not many do, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
People probably think it's like the anime shit. There's like the anime called One Piece and it's spelled like, a piece of something. And like people think I'd be fucking with anime heavy or something. It's like, no, I fuck with like Dragon Ball Z, maybe like Inuyasha, a couple other like Toonami joints that I just see after like, watching Cartoon Network or whatever.
I mean, either way, a lot of my audience is huge anime fans. Just being that I'm in the fight world, you know what I mean. So a lot of fighters and fight fans are into anime. So I'm sure they'd have probably figured in some sort of derivative one way or the other. I was thinking like maybe Fort Collins, some on some hippie type of stuff.
It also is that though.
Peace. But that's why I like it though, because it's nuanced. Like there's layers to it. Like you can think of it in one direction, but then you can switch it right up, and like what
it's
the
definitely
real story is.
It's like being one with everything, but it's like being bringing peace, and you also get one piece. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing sweet, and it's just like OP. straight up.
I mean, coming with that John Wick look, you know you're bringing
Right.
the heat.
It's Don Wick. Don Wick. Yep.
Don Wick, okay, I like
Don
that.
Wick.
Little bit of a suit, mix up right there. I like that, man.
Right.
Now you've got a project that you're that you just put out, right? A new EP, and you've got or excuse me, a new single, and then you've got a project that you're working on launching a full album, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm my homie Sagan, produced by SPS on Instagram. He's 18 years old. He's a beat prodigy. He's been producing the whole thing. My homie Jilo has been mixing and mastering a lot of my stuff. He just mixed and mastered the Fresh Out joint that just dropped. That song is going to be on this upcoming album. Probably be like 11 songs, 12 songs, all heaters. We're going to make it to where it's just like no skips. Once I got like 12 songs, no skips, we're releasing it. And right now we probably got like 9 or so. But we'll be releasing music in the meantime as well, other than that album.
Nice. Now you'll have to forgive my my lack of like music terminology or vocabulary knowledge. By like no skips, do you mean just like it flows completely through tracks 1 through 12, or like
Oh, no
what
skips.
exactly?
Yeah, just like, yeah, straight up. Like if you started, like there won't be a song where you're like, this one's kind of, or like maybe you listen to it all the way through and like you got your couple songs that you listen to off it, add to your playlist or whatever. Like I want it to be like a classic ass album to where from the start to the finish it's just bangers.
That's respectable, man. That's respectable. Now, for someone who may not have already listened to you, who would you say that, like stylistically you might draw some comparisons to? Because your style is pretty unique. But, if you were to maybe draw a comparison, who would you say?
I mean, I feel like the rhyme schemes and shit, I draw a lot from, like the East Coast. I fuck with Nas super heavy, but I also fuck with Kendrick Lamar, Joey Badass, MF Doom, and then like Souls of Mischief. I feel like Souls of Mischief from Oakland, like Hieroglyphics crew, the way they did their rhyme schemes and shit, I definitely took a lot from that. But I mean, it's pretty spread out. Like, sometimes the beats will be super funky to where they're like some West Coast shit, but other times, we'll make some rugged boom bap shit that's just some straight hypnotic New York type shit.
Would you say that that's maybe your favorite? Do you have any style that you like more than the other, or just kind of whatever flows in the moment, whatever fits your creative fancy at the time?
I mean, yeah, like it's constantly changing. I definitely try to be, at least nowadays, I try to be a little more aware of like what's going on and like, structure stuff to where it's like it appeals to a broader audience. But it's got to have bars. Like I got to be spitting bars, the punchlines, and the rhyme schemes got to come with the metaphors. Can't be anything, no capping about shit.
Definitely, bro.
Pretty much just fucking. But yeah, like it definitely started off like just New York type boom bap shit, and that was kind of like what set me up as an artist. I got good at rapping, and I like had hella bars, but now I'm making like I don't know, more like classic shit, like some hits. You know what I'm saying? But it's still got that old school vibe.
Definitely, man. Underdog is probably one of my favorite verses of yours. Like
Yeah,
that
that's a
song in
joint.
general, I love that song. That was the podcast intro for a long time.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's love.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I've tried to follow the music as much as I can. it's hard to always keep up with absolutely everything from my side, but I do always try to keep
Right.
up, keep up tabs with all the work that you guys put out, whether it's you, your brother, Tino, whoever. But
Right.
yeah, man.
Tino's nice. Shouts out to Tino.
Quick question for everybody out there. Who enjoys getting injured after taking a pop to the chops? Well, as someone who spends multiple hours per week speaking into a microphone, I know I don't. And I especially don't have the time to be making unnecessary trips and visits to the dentist's office. That's why I trust my oral protection needs to Impact Mouthguards. Impact Mouthguards offers custom molded, custom fit solutions for everything from mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu to powerlifting and nighttime products. Impact Mouthguard's merchandise lineup offers things for both the badass beauties and the bearded badasses out there. Everything from rash guards and t-shirts to stickers and finger tape. Make sure that you check out www.impactmouthguards.com. Use the promo code Peanut Gallery in the checkout.
Tino, the smooth spastic, Doctor Spastic. I can't remember. He's changed his rap name a couple of times, but Tino,
Yeah, it's Dr. Spastic right now. Yeah.
Doctor Spastic. Okay, yeah, I didn't
Smooth,
want
the
to.
smooth one.
Yeah, I just the smooth.
Smooth Spastic. Yeah.
Yep. I met Tino way back when I was still in college. Actually, him and he was just we were both there on a video shoot that A Will and Giro were in. That Gioni Relaford, my buddy from back in Pueblo way back when. And
Oh, dope.
yeah, so just kind of a weird degrees of separation situation, like knowing a lot of these guys for a long time, but yeah, man. So what I guess as far as the album, is there a specific is there a theme or just like focusing on the hits, or what's that looking like?
I mean, it normally ends up unfolding like just whatever's going on at that specific time. I take, a lump sum of songs that kind of all have been made at the same time, or in this case by the same artist, and just lay down all the tracks, and then I kind of piece it together. I normally like put all like the skits and the extra stuff like at the end of it. But pretty much it was like, life during 2020, and like, the state of the union and the state of my own mental, and just like, life, and how I've been coming to view some things, and how I've been coming to view myself, or what I've learned about myself, for sure.
Definitely, man. Now I got to ask you this, because especially as I feel like as a young and growing, developed, blooming artist, doing shows or being out and about in the midst of people is a big part of where I imagine where you get your following, or where you can grow your following still, as someone who is not a part of some, big major label with millions of marketing dollars and every is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So with it being that just the course of the last year with the pandemic and corona shutting everything down, how has that made it, how has that impacted your growth and your trajectory as an artist?
Well, like I really, doing shows is definitely like something that I always look forward to, and I love putting on for people. But I feel as though it was like a good time to kind of hunker down and just like learn some stuff. I was trying to, figure out some different ways to make money, some jobs other than uh or like just kind of refining my knowledge in all types of stuff, so I can you know keep funding this hip hop shit until it pops off.
Yep.
So it wasn't even, and I still went to like LA, I went to Mexico. Like I wasn't too um bunkered down like during the first part, when it was like the first 6 months were pretty sketchy, so like I wasn't really trying to do anything. And then I got kind of like, you know over sitting around, and I went to LA and like made some connections, and I was like, damn, it made me want to be out there more. And then going to Mexico, I like met a lot of cool people, and showed people my stuff, and they were messing with it. I gained fans, in Mexico. And then went out to LA and worked on a film set, hooked up with some dudes that my brother knows. Shouts outs to Mike Blevins in LA. And just a couple days that I was there, the second time I went to LA was like, I networked so much that I just knew that it was the place that I needed to end up, because, you know, I'm trying to make moves. I'm trying to be seen by as many people as possible. And I'm trying to, you know, network with those types of people, and everyone that I was around, I felt like was in the mix. So it was just like, felt like a lot of opportunity. So I'm trying to be out there as much as possible. That's why I'm moving there in the fall.
Oh, you are gonna move out to
Yeah.
SoCal. Nice, awesome, man. It's I have to say myself that I feel like I was living a lie that for like 29 years of my life I had never been to Los Angeles, and like
Right.
just going up and down along the beach, you know, right. It was even, I mean, just like Santa Monica Pier, like Venice Beach, all around like Muscle Beach, that area, just riding bikes up along the beach, that whole area, just like I could get used to this, man. Like
Right.
getting up every day, like all I got to do is wear a little, you know, tank top, some shorts, and some sandals, and sunshine, good food everywhere. I did think that I was gonna. So crazy story. I've never told this on the air, but I thought that I was gonna have the fight for my life against a bum in the bathroom at Newport Beach. I think it was Newport Beach, but we went at night. It was the first night that we had gotten
Venice
into
Beach.
LA. It wasn't at Venice.
Oh, it sounds like
Uh,
Venice Beach shit.
yeah. But it was a nicer. It's wherever Balboa Pier is. I can't remember which beach that is, but and I think that it's Newport, but I could be off on that. I just know that it wasn't Venice. But so I go to the bathroom, right, and as I'm at the urinal stall, this homeless dude just starts screaming like at the top of his fucking lungs,
Right.
just like like just a blood curdling shriek. Like I got my hand on my piece and I'm handling my business, and I'm thinking like, are you fucking kidding me? Like of all times to have to like work myself out of something or to have to fight out of something, it's right now.
Right.
But luckily, that dude was he was on whatever the hell he was on and just wigging out on his own, and I was able to skate through and not have to. But I didn't realize,
No.
like, you know, you always hear, because in Denver we've got a lot of homeless people, bro. Like there's homeless camps all over,
Right.
like through the inner city, but it was nothing like it was in LA. And I was just like, I just wasn't expecting it at the beach like that. But at the same time, I guess I can understand why, if you're homeless, why living at the beach isn't the
Right.
worst thing in the world. Like
Yeah.
it's still
Definitely where
warm.
I'd be at. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. But do you have any specific area of LA that you're looking to be around or looking to stay at?
I'm not too sure. I mean, you know, I'm trying to just stack up as much money as I can right now to, you know, afford whatever, really. I'm really not trying to live in an apartment, but if I get like a crib, maybe I'd go out there and move in with someone or something. But I'm trying to be able to like set my studio up and whatever. But you know, Studio City or Burbank or something, like somewhere right around, probably not in like downtown or like North Hollywood or anything like that. But I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's just man. I feel I feel like though you might actually go to LA at a lucky time as far as finding some place to live. You know, like I feel like there's been a mass defection of people leaving, so just thinking about the numbers in the and mind you, people, I'm a knuckle dragger. I call cage fights for a living. Like I talk about fighting, so don't take my economic or mathematical analysis to heart here. But I would think that if there's a lot of people that have moved out, then in theory there's got to be tenants that are looking for people to fill units.
For sure.
So, you know, if there's not a crazy demand to where you're, you know, just lining up one after the other, that may drop some prices. But
True that.
again, folks, what do I know? I'm not an economic major. I'm no finance guy by any means. Not financial advice, but I think it makes sense in my own head.
I'm sure it's definitely you know, probably the best market you can get into, because houses are always getting more expensive. So it's like
Definitely.
everything you get will appreciate.
Well, and I feel like LA will bounce back. Once all of this stuff kind of passes over and things start to reopen back up, LA is going to come back. LA and New York will be back. They're both very shut down and off the grid kind of right now for so many things, but I just don't see it ever being a world where those two places don't bounce back.
Yeah, it's the city that never sleeps. I remember in the coronavirus, I saw this thing, and it was like the city slept, and it was like the streets were like barren during like peak like quarantine, and it was like crazy to see shit not just bustling.
Well, like some of my friends who live out there, like man, like I've never like been able to navigate or get where I need to go on like the 405 or on the one during like midday, like without being stuck in traffic for hours. Like they're like
Right.
then they could tell that people started to like kind of how you said after the first few months like started all right, like let's get back to business here. They knew
Right.
that it was starting to get back at least a little bit as far as like daily operation stuff once they started sitting in traffic again.
Right.
But
That's
so
true, huh? Damn.
yeah, exactly. Just because they knew that people were out and about and mingling in the mix. So I want to ask you this question, bro. Did you know that music was something that you always wanted to do, or did you just kind of stumble upon it? I mean, obviously, like you mentioned that you were on the inside for a little bit, so sometimes you find your passion through that isolation. Like where did music start for you?
Well, I was like 13 when I wrote my first rap. Um and it was definitely like a little outlet I was using to kind of like get some shit off my chest. I like remember I like wrote to this like twista beat, and like wrote some little bars, like hit up my friends, and I was about to go into like a juvenile detention center for like 10 days. And then I wrote my first rap, and like called my friends, rapped it to them. They're like amped me up. They're like, damn, that was sick. I was like, all right. And then did that little 10 days. And then during that time, my family actually moved from Canyon City, Colorado, which is kind of down south by like Pueblo, up to Fort Collins. So I got out and I was living in Fort Collins all of a sudden. So I was like, what? Sick. Um, I literally like the next day I was starting my first day of high school in Fort Collins, and then met my skateboarding friends, you know, started going to the skate park like every day. A lot of them listened to, you know, classic dope hip hop, and I found a lot of dope hip hop from them. And we'd all like freestyle and just like you know smoke a bunch of weed and skate and just fuck around. And
Nice,
then
man.
yeah, it's ever since shit didn't get you know for a bit. It was like I don't know, I was just fucking around, so it was a great outlet. It still is. But there were definitely pivotal times that like it was something that I had to use to like get everything off, which I'm
Definitely.
fortunate I have.
As far as professional growth, not necessarily like with your creativity or what you do as an artist itself, but like from the business and the professional end, how instrumental has it been for you to have somebody like your brother, like Joey, who is very like big picture minded, gets the macro perspective view,
Right.
and like has the business sense down? Like how helpful has that been for you?
He's been yeah, very key to fucking getting shit done, and you know putting us on to ways to market our shit, and how to target ads, and do a lot of that business shit for sure. It's definitely I base the structure, or like he has the systems that'll definitely produce results. And even if I you know don't seem receptive sometimes to the shit he's saying to me because he's my big brother or whatever, I definitely use all the shit that he puts me on game to, for sure.
Imagine that, some big brother little brother dynamic
Right.
going on. Yeah, man, that's awesome though, bro. So your new single, it's called Fresh Out, is that right?
Fresh out. Yep.
So what's the story? I mean, I'm sure people can probably gather it, you know, just from one, if they listen to it, they'll get it. But, you know, I mean, from the title, from our conversation here, but straight
Right.
from the horse's mouth, what's the inspiration?
Yeah, I was sitting on a bunk, I'm sure, and I just I wrote that song, and it definitely had a way different vibe when I first wrote it. It wasn't like trappy. It was way more like a classic hip hop song. Like the cadence was totally different, and I think I like heard this beat one day, and I just like and I like kind of started rapping that verse to it. I was like, oh yeah, that goes crazy to this, and then like built on it. It used to be like 3 minutes long. Like I took some stuff off, and it took like a year for that song to like see the light of day. Because I remember it was like around this time last year that I was like making edits for it, and like just saying that I was gonna release it, like this the next shit I'm gonna release, and then I just like ghosted on it, and then right now I just got a bunch of traction from a silly little viral video that I had pop off, and then I was like, gotta utilize this, and I released it,
Nice.
and about to shoot a video to it, and yeah, go from here.
Nice, man. Awesome. So, as far as all of that goes, you can find that people on all DSPs as well, correct?
Yep.
Awesome. When do you have a target date for visuals, or that's still kind of floating out there?
I'm about to meet with my brother on solidifying a date to shoot the thing, and then we within a couple days they'll get it edited and everything, and then whenever it's done, it's getting posted to YouTube. So
Nice.
yeah,
You've had some pretty dope location shots for some of your videos. I mean, a lot of them, I'm sure, all around northern Colorado, Fort Collins, for a
right.
large portion of them. Where is the favorite? Where is your favorite spot? If you could say, like, you know, like, hey, man, like, I just really like once we were there on location, like, I felt the vibe. Is there any place that stands out?
I the video, there is this one location that we did for my first video. It's called Tunnel Drive. It's like this long tunnel in Canyon City, Colorado, and it's like like they blew out a mountain with dynamite, and it's like just this tunnel. It's all kind of windy in there, and we used to always go there when I was a kid or whatever. And then I don't even really like that video. That's like an old song. There's been too much progression for us to really like look at that video and be like, you know, as from our perspective, like someone else might, still like it, but
Yeah.
a lot of my old shit, I don't even like listening to, I just know that every time I'm getting so much better that it's like, I don't even want to hear it. But another one was inside of the A on at Horsetooth, like being inside of the A on the
Yeah.
side of Horsetooth. That was a sick one with the drone. Yeah.
That's dope, man. I mean, 'cause that's, you know, that's very like that is Fort Collins. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you drive through town, you see the A up by Horsetooth. I went to CSU, so that's like one of the freshman traditions, if you will, or like one of the things at the beginning of the year. You go and you paint the A. So
Right.
like that's pretty dope, man. That you just kind of, you know, you had your own little. That's like basically our northern Colorado version of doing some shit by the Hollywood sign.
Right. Yeah. Straight up.
You know,
Putting on for the home or the hometown. I feel like I spent a lot of my pivotal years here, so this is kind of like, yeah. I was born in Canyon City, but Fort Collins is like,
yeah.
hometown.
It's the jump
So,
off. It's where you've spent a lot of these years now. I get it because I'm from Pueblo originally, but you know, I mean, moved
right.
up to Fort Collins lived there for close to 10 years, and now live down in Denver. So yeah, I mean, still always, you know, home is home, like, you know, where you grew up, but like Denver's home now. You know, like Fort
Right.
Collins was home for a long time, but I grew on from that chapter in life, I guess. Like, you know, when Denver, I never thought that it would be a reality for me personally to be in the position that I'm at now. Like I never thought that. I just, you know, I was always, I was scared to take the chance. And that's why I always respect artists, musicians, everybody out there who puts their work out, because they're, bro, people don't realize what it takes or what sort of courage that it takes to put yourself out there and
Right.
have the risk of someone saying, like, you know, just basically cutting you down, tearing you down in every different angle, left and right. And
Yeah.
if you get some people who finally say that, hey, like, this is halfway good, or I like your stuff, well, then that's a plus, as long as they just don't hate it.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I feel very, you know, I like listening to the music I make, so I feel confident releasing it. Like I never even really like I just there's some stuff and I'm like, I don't like, yeah, I suppose like I got some joints that I'm like, you know, I don't know. And it's like more like me thinking about other people's perception of it rather than me just thinking subjectively about the music. And honestly, it's kind of like not even me for me to decide if like, you know, someone fucks with it, because it's
Yeah.
up to them. It's opinion. Like if you like it, you like it. So I should just drop everything and be like, yo, pick what you want.
Would you say that it's a fair thing that sometimes you put as an artist in, you know, just like you mentioned there, like you create these false sources of pressure, like you think that there's pressure for these certain, you know, coming from, like, oh, are they gonna like it or will they not, but really it's nothing that you can control, but you're allowing that pressure to, you know, to weigh on you heavily. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Um
Or
I
at
mean,
least at least at times anyway.
yeah, I mean you because like I suppose it's kind of something that you might like compare your music to someone else who's either further along or like more popping than you are. So you're like, damn, I kind of like gotta live up to this standard. But it's also like this shit is like, you know, it's like you want to be the better rapper, you want to be the better artist. So that it's like competition too. Ain't nothing sweet, you know, shit.
Yeah, I feel you there, man. I feel you, especially, you know, like where you're, you know, you're growing, and I feel like there's a lot of parallels with what you deal with as an artist, as like what, you know, a lot of my teammates and I I don't fight, like I don't fight in a cage. I call the action. I take photos cage side, all of that. So I don't know what that directly is. I mean, I compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments, like I fight in jiu-jitsu tournaments and all that. I just never had a full contact fight. But, you
Mm.
know, that same sort of like vulnerability of, you know, like you've spent so much time in the quote unquote dark, if you will, putting in those hours sharpening your craft, so that when it's finally, you know, when it's finally time to, you know, in your case, release a project, or in their case, make the walk and do their thing locked in a cage in their underwear with another grown man, you
Right.
know, there's or woman, I should say, there's there's a level of vulnerability that you expose yourself to, that, you know, sometimes the world can be harsh, but I feel like sometimes it's the people who are, you're not afraid of the potential failure, backlash, whatever, that those a lot of times those are the people who seem to have some of the most sustained success, because you're not worried about pleasing Joe Schmo for this one project. Like you have faith in yourself and the work that you put in, that the right audience is going to find it and is going to support it.
Right. I heard something, it was like success is the or like preparedness when presented opportunity. So like, you know, once an opportunity arises, like how much work have you put in to like capitalize on it? So it's like, you know, I've been honing in my craft. Like during that year also, I was making a lot of beats, you know, the quarantine period, I was figuring out how to produce. I was gathering assets. I, you know, got this Mac that I'm on now, this super fast Mac, and speakers, and I built these acoustic panels in my studio and got a dope ass microphone, and just like been kind of like, you know, moving in silence. like not that we weren't like, you know, showing people what we were doing, but not to the extent that we were doing it. We're definitely moving.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, I
definitely.
was, you know, networking and not just like networking in different states, but like sometimes I like will randomly show myself gratitude, like because you were saying earlier, like I forget exactly, like the macro versus the
Macro
micro,
versus
like the
micro.
big plan and the micro. It's like sometimes or oftentimes I don't or I guess I don't even show enough gratitude, period, because you know, I know that I'm like putting in work. I'm constantly learning. Sometimes or like I'll spend my day like an 8 hour day working as a carpenter and like be listening to like, you know, podcasts or whatever, some about health or a book about the music business. So I'll work like 2 work days damn near. Like I got a whole like physical work capacity load as well as like a whole bunch of knowledge that I gained. Like I went to school and I went to work, you know. So and sometimes I get home and then I feel like anxious that I'm not doing enough. I'm like, I know I should be like writing or like like recording something or like making beats or like I got a bunch of footage I should, you know, go through or whatever. But it's like sometimes you gotta I like appreciate myself. I'll be like, damn, like I'll think about like my physical self and how capable I am of doing the shit I love. Like I've been getting better at basketball and stronger in the gym and shit. And it's like sometimes, you know, you'll get at yourself for little shit and not really realize how hard you're actually going, you know?
Definitely, man. And it sounds like you've got a good grasp of your balance too, because I feel like people a lot of times they'll get what success, if you will, looks like. They'll get it misconstrued and they'll think that it's all nothing but like hard work on one thing like the entire time. It's like, no, man, like for a lot of people or the most successful people out there, whether it's, you know, business, artists, athletes, whatever, it's the all right, well, yeah, you do have to put the work in at your craft, but then maybe it's the, you know, it's the, if you're an athlete, it's spending, you know, a few hours a week doing recovery specific things. It is
Right.
that it's reading some books like at Factory X, we have a book of the month. We coach challenges us all to read a book a month, and sometimes it's one that's nominated by one of our teammates. Sometimes or a lot of times it's one that he'll just pick off of, you know, the list that he does in advance. But I feel like the growth of, you know, all of us on a level far beyond just the physical, and it's because we've been challenged to grow mentally as well. And then just some of the lessons that with the books that we've had to read, just like you were saying right there, you know, it maybe it was enough to inspire you to, you know, like Chop Wood Carry Water is one of them by John Gordon that that we read as a team. But the whole concept of that book is that you can't shortcut hard work. Like the only way that you're gonna be able to in the long run achieve sustained success is you've got to chop, you know, taking it way back to the old ages, you got to chop the wood and you got to carry the water to survive. Well, if that's how you
Right.
want to, if you know, if you want to survive and thrive in your craft, you've got to chop the wood and carry the water. This stuff like that. Or, you know, I don't know if you're if you know who David Goggins is, but
Yeah,
David
David Goggins
Goggins,
is hard. Yeah, that motherfucker's hard as hell. Yeah.
one of my favorites in the
He's
world.
got some shit. Yeah. He goes hard.
You know, like, but just, you know, some guys didn't know who he was or didn't know what the book was, or maybe they knew who he was but didn't know, you know, like how powerful his book Can't Hurt Me is. But that's
Right.
all stuff that we, you know, through our, I guess, just trials as a team and growing as a team, like you learn that, okay, well, we can push through this. Like it may be tough right now. Like this last week for our guys was what coach called grit week. So
Mm,
I mean, it was tough. You know, it's designed to try to, you know, to push you all the way up to the point of breaking. You know,
mm,
it's a test for your body as well as your mind. But it's if you know that if you can get through what our fighters are able to do here. I mean, we're one of the top gyms in the world. in 2018 finished number 2 in the world as far as rankings go. So, you know, and we have, you know, we have a ton of guys that are in the UFC. We have a ton of just top emerging amateur and younger pro talent too. So the bodies and the frequency and there's no easy rounds. So if you're able to then, especially once the volume is turned up as far as the programming from the coaching side goes, if you can get through these workouts and you can be able to take something and grow from these training sessions, you're doing pretty goddamn well for yourself.
Right.
You know, there will be other guys who come in, guys and girls who come in from other gyms, and some of them, I mean, they're ranked, you know, ranked in the world. They got a number by their name. They're one of 15 people in the world in their weight class that can say that, oh, I am, you know, top 15 in the world. That's a very, very select amount of people out there. And it's not easy weeks for them when they come in, or it's not easy sessions when they come in. And sometimes that's with, you know, the younger guys. It's with a guy who, you know, not, and it's not any disrespect to my teammates that I'm saying this, but nobody knows who they are. Like they're, you know, they're still a, you know, a 24-year-old amateur who has never, you know, fought on a televised card or isn't even a pro yet. But that's just that, you know, that's the level that we've gone to, and that just, you know, like just how you're saying, full circle, you know, developing the mind, the body, the spirit, everything all the way around. You mentioned though about with health. So, you know, do you think that kind of helps you as you know, I mean, just you seem very in tune with your own energy. So, you know, knowing that, you know, you're taking in that good nutrition versus, you know, like filling your body with, you know, like just garbage food, whatever. Like, do you think that helps with you, you know, with where your growth has gone?
Definitely, you know, paying attention to like health in general. If you're on your game with that, like you're probably going to be pretty sharp with the other shit. Like if you can discipline yourself enough to, like, you know, commit to your workout regimen for the week, or like, you know, commit to your diet, um then you have some mental fortitude to, like, you know, organize your focus. That's something I struggle with. Like I could definitely utilize my time a little better, but you know, I have a lot of self-awareness. Yeah. I definitely, you know, if I feel a certain way, or I'm thinking a certain way, or my body feels a certain way, I pay attention to it. If like, I'll know if I'm mentally exhausted compared to physically. Like, you know, you just got to know when you got to, like, take a chill pill or recover, or that's something I don't even really know. Like when is it time to sit back and relax? Like probably isn't. There probably isn't a time yet. Like once I, you know, this shit's actually going, maybe we can, I mean, I'm still gonna, you know, take my vacations, whatever, but yeah, we got some fucking work to do still, for sure.
Oh yeah, I totally feel that there, man. So we've covered a lot, you know, as far as this upcoming project, kind of the backstory with some things. Is there something that you want to get out there for your friends, family, supporters, anybody who might be new fans potentially who might be watching and listening to you for the first time? Is there anything, any message that you want to get out to them?
Pretty much, you know, I'm gonna keep representing my true self and being genuine through all this shit. um you know, I'm gonna do my best to entertain the people and bring people together, and, you know, preach solidarity and good health and togetherness and peace, and just, you know, keep making dope music, collaborate with people. If people, I'm always willing to create. If someone wants to, you know, get at me to design stuff, or, you know, get on a song, or has beats for me, or anything like that, I'm always down to connect with people. If, you know, even if you need someone to talk to about some, hit the DM. um and then, yeah, fresh out, my new single is out on all streaming platforms. If you have Spotify, add it to your playlists, because it helps me get the song to go through the Spotify algorithm, and it might get added to some big playlist, and which could really help me, quit my day job.
Nice, very nice, right there. So, as far as any upcoming dates, do you have any important dates that people should have on the radar, or
May 27th at the Aggie. My homie Sean Mercer is headlining the Aggie Theater in Fort Collins. He hit me up to help out, so I'm gonna do a set on May 27th. Tickets are in a link in his bio. Just get at me. I can get that for you as well if you need tickets to that.
Sean's a good dude. I actually, a small world situation again. I used to work with Evan, with his old roommate.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
So crazy world of connections in northern Colorado, my man.
Yeah, Sean's dope. That's the boy.
Definitely, bro. Now, I just want to say thank you again very much for taking the time, and just one last time, where can people follow you?
One Piece Nugget, all spelt out, ONEPEACENUGGET, One Piece Nugget. Twitter, Instagram, what's the Snapchat, all that.
Nice, awesome, man. Well, like I say, thank you very much for taking the time with us. I'll throw up the link to some of the stuff in the bio for all of you guys who are following along in the YouTube chat or anything along there. Once this pops up there, just again, thank you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. It gives us a little bit of some diversity. Give our audience a little bit more than just MMA sometimes. Which you're an artist just the same, and you obviously you mentioned that you're a fan of the fighting world. So I try to do my best to help out those who support us. Whatever it may be. We're all creatives. We're all trying to make our own way. So again, like I say, man, thank you for taking the time.
No doubt, bro. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate
Yes,
the
sir.
opportunity. Yep.
Definitely, bro. And this is the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Comments from the Peanut Gallery, on Twitter at Peanut Podcast. Check me out every Wednesday night from 6 to 7 p.m. on 98.1 FM here in the Denver metro area, www.milehighsports.com, everywhere worldwide. All of the episodes are going to be archived on denversportsbetting.com as well. That is the MMA plug presented by denversportsbetting.com on Mile High Sports Radio. Catch me along with Ron Kruk, the voice of the Legacy Fighting Alliance, every single week. And once again, thank you guys for following us along and supporting us through all of these years. We will see you next time.
Peace.
No telling where we gon' go. Can't see much traveling through the weed smoke. Just glad to be back on the street, low vans on the feet when I go visit my PO. Keep it on the D-low that I'm running tree though. Supposed to be drug free. That weed ain't evil. Evil's what they make me out to be though. Let me read